Valid palindrome. We are going to build this from absolute zero. What the problem is, why the obvious approach wastes work, and how the real pattern works. Nothing assumed, no mystery jargon. By the end, 2 pointers and Big O will feel like plain English. Here is the job. You get a string. You ignore every character that is not a letter or a digit, and you treat uppercase and lowercase as the same. Then you ask one simple question. Does it read the same forward and backward? 2 quick examples. On the left, A, B, A throws away the punctuation and lowercases, leaving ABA, which reads the same both ways, so it is true. On the right, 0p becomes 0p, and those ends do not match, so that one is false.
A very natural beginner solution is to make the cleaned version first. Watch the second row called clean build itself under the original row. Gray junk drops out, and capital letters flip down to lowercase. Now compare the first and last characters of clean. If they match, throw them away by creating a brand new row from the middle and repeat on that shorter row.
Let's actually watch that run, because the waste is easiest to feel when you can see it. The top row stays the same, but the clean row keeps getting recreated. Full row, then the middle slice, then the smaller middle slice, over and over. Watch the copied characters counter in the corner. Hold on to that counter, because this is the part that quietly gets expensive. This is where Big O comes in, and it is simpler than it sounds. Big O just describes how the work grows when the input gets bigger. This slice and shrink version keeps copying almost the whole cleaned row again and again, and those copies add up to roughly m squared over 4. So at 100 useful characters, that is about 2,500 copies. At 1,000, about 250,000. And at 100,000, roughly 2.5 billion. 10 times the input, 100 times the work.
Now for the flip. A palindrome never actually needs the whole cleaned string sitting in memory at once. It only ever asks about mirrored pairs, this useful character on the left and that useful character on the right. So instead of manufacturing new middle strings, put one finger on each end of the original row and walk them toward the middle.
On screen, those 2 fingers are a gold marker on the left and a blue marker on the right. The tiny numbers under the tiles are just indexes, little addresses for which character each marker points at. Watch this motion once, and it has a name. 2 pointers. Now the one rule that makes it work. If a marker lands on junk, like a space or a comma, only that marker moves. The other one waits on its letter. Once both sit on real characters, lowercase and compare. Match, step inward. Mismatch, stop right there.
Let's run the real method on the full row. A man, a plan, a canal, Panama. The gold marker starts on capital A. The blue marker starts on little a. Both tiles flip to lowercase, and that pair flashes green. Then both markers slide inward 1 step. When the gold marker lands on a space, the space fades gray, and only the gold marker hops past it. Later, the blue marker lands on punctuation, and again, only that side moves while the other waits on its letter. That skip one side rule is a tiny detail, but it matters. If you moved both markers by habit, you would skip real letters and compare the wrong pair. Keep watching the green flashes. M matches M, A matches A, N matches N, all the way inward. In the center, the markers finally meet and cross, and that means true. There is nothing left that could break the palindrome.
A few edge cases fall right out of the motion. If the useful characters run out completely, like 3 exclamation points, that empty result still counts as true. A single character is true, mixed case is true after lowercasing, and digits count. So 1A2A1 is valid. And 0p is the perfect little counterexample. The 0 stays a 0, the capital P becomes a lowercase p. Those two tiles mismatch in red, and we stop immediately and return false. That is the whole rule in one frame. The moment a single real pair disagrees, the answer is false. Line up the 3 shapes. Slice and shrink rebuilds rows again and again, so its work climbs quadratically, O of n squared. Building the clean string once is already linear, but it needs an extra full row. 2 pointers walks inward in place, O of n time, O of 1 space. Now be honest about the real win. 2 pointers is not faster than building the clean string. Both are linear time. What you save is space. You drop the extra copy of the string completely. Same speed, less memory, simpler code. This is also a pattern pivot. In contains duplicate, twosome, and valid anagram, we carried a memory box because the answer depended on what we had already seen. Here, the answer is not about the past at all. It lives at the 2 ends, mirroring each other. And this is the part to keep. Memorize the shape, not the code. Left marker, right marker. Skip junk, lowercase, compare. If the pair matches, move inward. If it does not, return false. If the markers meet or cross, return true. Quick recap. First, the copy-happy beginner version is correct, but its repeated slicing makes the work grow quadratically. Second, the real insight. A palindrome only cares about mirrored pairs, so 2 markers walking inward solve it in linear time, with no second string at all. And third, the one to actually keep. This was a new family. Not walk and remember, but meet in the middle. That shift from solving one problem to recognizing a pattern is the whole point of this series.
That is valid palindrome, built from 0, nothing assumed. Next up is valid palindrome 2. Same inward walk, but on the first mismatch, you get 1 chance to skip the left character or the right one and see which path survives. If you want the written walkthrough and code side by side, head to unrote.com. This is Unrote. Understand it, don't memorize it.